Another one bites the dust. Another series down. The Dallas Stars have defeated the Calgary Flames in just an absolutely wild and crazy game. It was just unpredictable. And when I made the series preview for this series, I think I literally said, I have no idea what's going to happen in this series. I believe I predicted Calgary in 7, I think. But like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen because I really couldn't get a gauge on either of these teams. And there have been a ton of games in this series which have been exactly that. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to win each game because both teams are so incredibly inconsistent, not just by game to game, but by period to period. If you're a fan of either of these teams, it's extremely frustrating to watch. So, as a fan of Dallas, they're not my favorite team, but I like them quite a bit. Hard to watch this team at times. And if we just go back to the game that happened, the elimination game, Calgary was up 3-0 in that game. 3-0, and they lost 7-3. Like, that game is the perfect example of this entire series. It's just, like, what? Like, that's all you can say. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. So, it's almost not even worth having a conversation about the series and trying to break it down and review what happened, because it was so all over the place that it doesn't really give me any indication of how Dallas is going to do in the next series against Colorado. I feel like, okay, well, if we get the Dallas team that shows up, then it's going to be a really good series against Colorado, but I know how Dallas sometimes doesn't show up, so this could be a very boring series, and maybe it'll be all one side in Colorado's favor, and it'll be exciting hockey to watch because there'll be lots of goals, but I would rather see a competitive series than a non-competitive series, even if it meant a little less boring hockey. So, I don't know. I have question marks about Dallas moving forward. I mean, if you look, again, just at the last game, Guryanov had 5 points. I think Pavelski had 3. Heiskanen had 4. Where was Tyler Seguin? Where was Jamie Benn? Where was Radulov? None of them got points. Like, these were all contributions from the depth players on the team, not from the big boys. That's a pretty good indication of the question marks in Dallas. So, they won 7-3 without the help of the 3. What if they had the contributions from the 3? Would they have won 11-3? Like, that's kind of how the Dallas Stars team is. You never really know what you're going to get, and it's frustrating. But anyways, they won. I was cheering for Dallas. I'm glad that they won. I'm glad they're moving on. But I'm sad to see a Canadian team go. I'm Canadian. I live in Atlantic Canada. I don't dislike Calgary. I don't love Calgary. But I want to see them succeed because they are a Canadian team. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Johnny Gaudreau first. So I was pretty harsh on Johnny Gaudreau when he first entered the league. I received criticism from a lot of you, and well-deserved criticism for sure, that I was being a little bit too hard on Johnny Gaudreau. And he was young. Just let him come into his game. I said, okay, you know what, you guys are right. I am being a little bit too harsh. At the same time, I was also being harsh on McDavid a little bit for being a captain too early. So there was lots of good criticism coming in from you guys, and I changed my tone a little bit. I've been trying to assume the best in Johnny Gaudreau for the past 2.5 years. And in the past 2.5 years, all he's done is continue to disappoint me. And I think it's at this point where I'm going to be done assuming the best. Did I say assuming the worst? If I said assuming the worst before, I meant assuming the best. I'm going to stop assuming the best in Johnny Gaudreau because I'm continuously disappointed. He is a straight-up liability on that team in big games. Not just this year, last year as well. And even though I'm not a fan of the team, like I said, I still want to see them succeed. And it's when I want that, it's frustrating to see their star player struggle and be that liability. Because he turns pucks over possibly more than anyone else in the entire league. Like, it is unbelievable. He is an incredible liability. And it's very frustrating for me to watch. I can't even imagine how Calgary Flames fans feel. It'd be so frustrating. So I don't know what's going to happen with Johnny Gaudreau on that team. I don't know if maybe they look elsewhere, maybe they try and make a trade, maybe he requests a trade. It just doesn't seem like it's fitting. And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating because he's a good player. Like he's a magician with the puck, but you cannot be that big of a liability to your team. You just can't. So I feel bad for Calgary fans. I can't imagine how pissed off they are. I'm pissed off for them. So I'm not saying that Johnny Gaudreau is all bad. I'm not trying to, jump on his back and push him to the ground. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just frustrated because Calgary fans deserve more. At the end of the day, they did make it farther than Edmonton, so you can't be too upset, I guess. But another player on the team that is a cause of frustrations from many teams throughout the teams that he's played on is Milan Lucic. So he took a very undisciplined penalty in the last game, which was just the most typical Lucic thing ever. And actually, now that I think of it, I don't know anyone who actually likes Lucic. And I don't mean like personality-wise, but I'm trying to think if anyone's ever said anything positive about Lucic's game in the past 3 years since I started the channel, or 3.5 years. I cannot remember. It's only been complaints, regardless of where he's been. And they're not wrong. I mean, I can say that because I share the same opinion, but he, as far as production versus value or money, not good. Not good at all. It does not look good on paper when you're paying this person this much money and they are giving you nothing, basically. They're taking away because they're taking undisciplined penalties and putting your team in situations that they shouldn't necessarily be in. He has a temper. He's always had a temper. He's a good fighter most of the time. I like to watch him fight. I like how physical he plays, but I don't like his personality. I don't like how seemingly hot-headed he gets over insignificant situations. He seems like a bit of a baby. Like he gets really butthurt over some things. So even though he's tough, fight and stuff, he also seems very soft at the same time. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't, but that's kind of how I feel about him. He's just, I don't know. He's not a player that I would want on my team. They're kind of stuck, I guess, in a way with him. They can't really get rid of him. Who's going to take him with that contract? They could buy him out, I guess, but I don't know the legalities of that and with his specific contract. So anyway, this series was, I can't really break it down. I can't really say like, oh, if Calgary did this better, then they would have won, or if Dallas, they almost lost because of this. Inconsistent. Like there's nothing specific. It's just the fact that both teams can't play their game at a consistent pace. Like that's really what it comes down to. So this series was wishy-washy. I hope the next one for Dallas is less wishy-washy than this one. Regardless, like I said, I wish success on Calgary, and I like Dallas, and of course I wish success on them. So yeah, regardless of who won the series, I was going to be happy for the most part. And Dallas won, so I'm more happy than less happy. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. This series is driving me crazy. Let's stop talking about it. I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button down below for some hockey conversations, some fun jersey ranking stuff, live streams every Friday. Yeah, would love to have you on board. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Adios.